And the wait is over for this rivalry game. It's the Washington Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles. Next on Madden Football.
Opened back in 2003, have a look at the Lincoln Financial Field, where 70,000 are rocking and ready to go in Philadelphia. Today, longtime foes square off in the NFC East, as it'll be the Washington Commanders taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Well, what a season it was for these Eagles and these Philly fans last year. An 8-0 start. 14-3 final record, 2 blowout wins in the NFC playoffs before coming up a bit short in Super Bowl 57.
And a good thing for Philadelphia as they try and get back to the Super Bowl, many of the key pieces they had last year are back. Remember, this is the number 3 offense in the league, number 2 defense, and they threw in a heck of an NFL draft. They expect to contend one more time.
Meanwhile, for the Commanders, this is a team that many think could be the 4th best in the NFC East, but they've got a pretty strong defense that's going to probably keep them in some ball games.
Their investment in talent has certainly paid off. Number 4 against the pass a season ago. Number 4 overall in total defense. Nothing to shake a stick at. If they get good quarterback play, look out.
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. No run back here on the opening kickoff, as we'll start at the 25. The Commanders set to go to work on offense, and they've handed the controls to this man in his 2nd NFL season, former Tar Heel Sam Howell.
Howell got the nod from Commanders leadership to be the team starter this year. A nice bump for last year's 5th-round pick. 1 start as a rookie and didn't look bad at all, winning the team's finale. And let's not forget, this is a guy who was once viewed as a 1st-round pick, so there's plenty of promise hidden beneath the surface.
Howell, first play, going to throw it. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A good start. 1 play, 10 yards. And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved, able to do it successfully.
Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says, our guy is better than your guys. Because, you know, a player of his stature, he won't just be single covered all game long. He's going to involve multiple people. And right away, they told the other team, guess what? He's just better.
13 yards there and a Washington first. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on 1st down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Second down, Howell back to pass. Hitting Samuel on the slant. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
They'll run with Gibson. Able to avoid him at the 40. Fighting through, he's got space. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. 52 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there. And I go right at him with another momentum play. I go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on 3rd down.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Throwing here, Howell. Looking and finding Thomas in the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. 8 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Commanders get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. The underdog here is showing no fear. Great opening drive.
Now, we weren't in the locker room for the pregame speech, but I will guarantee you, somewhere along the way, the head coach said, let's just grab a big stick and smack them with it and let them know we're going to be here today. They may be the team that's supposed to be superior, but we're not backing down to anyone.
And on the road, no less, setting the tone. Joey slide out, a kickoff after the touchdown. On the return, Boston Scott. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here come the Eagles, the defending NFC champs, led out by a man who was the runner-up to Patrick Mahomes at MVP balloting a season ago. Of course, that's Jalen Hurts.
And we already knew that Hurts was a good quarterback. But last year, he moved to elite status. Under his guidance, the Eagles returned to the Super Bowl and nearly won it. And he's also one of the league's most dangerous players, thrown for 38 touchdowns his last 2 seasons and run for another 23.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
Now a 2nd and 10. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. This will be caught by Brown. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
In the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. And they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Hurts sets up to throw it. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Now 2nd quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. Hurts. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Eagles unable to convert there on fourth. And Washington will have it on a turnover on downs. I guess they wanted to get that touchdown right back on their first drive, but failed to do so.
And what they have to be careful of is pushing so hard to stay right there, to stay even with their opponent, that they gas themselves out. You know, it's almost like horse racing. Sometimes you don't want to take your horse right to the front and let them do all the work, and then someone catch them at the end and pass them up. You want to make sure you moderate what you're doing along the way and then go for the big finish.
Powell's throw into the hands of McLaurin. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 25 yards that time.
That's a nice throw there, and he's obviously feeling pretty good because, remember, he had a touchdown pass on the last drive, and here he comes out throwing again, and they wind up getting good yardage and a first down right out of the gate.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson, and he'll take this down to the 33.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd down and 6 now. They'll go again with Gibson. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
3rd and 4. And Howe will throw it. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Josh Sweat rushing in and bringing him down to the ground.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt, and this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good, and this will remain a one-touchdown game.
Trying to build on that opening drive touchdown, but the drive stalls out. And then you get the missed field goal here, so they wind up with nothing to show from drive number 2.
So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their second drive. A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side. Their defense came through, was able to hold them without any points.
I would agree with you, partner. A little bit of a lucky break indeed, but you know what they'd say to us? No luck, just pure skill. We rose to the challenge, and we didn't permit a score. That's how we roll.
Well, I'm kind of curious, Charles, if they might temper their aggressiveness now offensively if they get in that 4th down spot again.
Yeah, one would think so. But maybe because they held them, they might go for it again. And not that the coach asked me, but I do like the call there to start the drive, looking for something maybe to jumpstart this offense. And they decide to run a little screen play, maybe give their running back a little bit of space. Mission accomplished. He turns that into good yardage and a quick first down.
Throwing is Hurts. That's to the speedster Olamide Zaccheaus. Two minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Here's Hurts to throw. But it's caught on the right side at Smith. And Devontae going to pick up the Eagles' first down as he'll get this down inside the 20. Hurts finding Smith for the Philly first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On first down, Hurts looking middle, and it's incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, it's Hurts. And that will be incomplete as well. Strong coverage by Washington, and now 4th down.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. The kick by Elliott is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, the good news, at least they won't take that goose egg into the locker room, maybe a little something to build on.
Yeah, it hasn't been the greatest of first halves for them, has it? But at least now, as you mentioned, they put some points on the board. And it's been funny in our experience watching games. Sometimes something as little as a field goal can change the fortunes of the team, and they could come out and look real sharp in the second half.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. Well, here we go on the next drive for Washington. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
The touch and time here critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Here's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10, Howell. And that is incomplete here.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They're moving all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now the second-year man from Alabama, it's Brian Robinson. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts, and he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. Britton Covey deep for Philadelphia. Fielded just inside the 30. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense going to take over late in this first half. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. He's got his target. That's complete. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
Get him going, baby. Let's go, good time. Let's go, boy. Let's go. Let's go right here.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to bring up second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Second down, here's Hurts. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. He'll look to throw. Complete to Zacchaeus. Call it a gain of a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down. A really nice catch, but bottom line, that should have gone for more yardage.
Give him a pass in the flat that allows him to get upfield. There's plenty of distance between him and all the defenders. Actually cost himself some yardage there. Yeah, they got the completion, but it could have been so much more.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That's a double win there, partner. You keep out of the return man's hands, and you pin him inside the 5-yard line. Pretty darn good.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much, and welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this third quarter. And here's Scott to return it. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Eagles ready to go on offense to begin quarter number 3. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Well, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half. Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Second down, here's Jalen Hurts. And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to fourth down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's third down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. First possession of the second half now for Washington. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys are tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
On second down, here's Gibson again. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
Let's go get it. Let's go, baby. Turn it up.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll go play action. Howell. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Now 2nd and 3. A give up the middle to Gibson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. 9 yards that time.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they've wanted to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots, and right there, he slides in with ease for the first down.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his 2nd drop of the game. Howell now to throw it. And That's going to be incomplete.
And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football to places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Howell throwing on 3rd down here. That's out to the flat for Gibson. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
This one complete down the field to Goddard. A big play there for Philly. 44 yards.
That's the kind of play this offense desperately needed. They've got to be saying, our defense has kept us in the ballgame. We're down, but we're certainly not out. And maybe that was the spark that they've been searching for.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Throwing again on 2nd down. Hurts throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They go play action with Hurts. Out to his left. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. It goes as a gain of 8. It moves the chains. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Hurts sets up to throw it. Oh, it stays up. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down for a nice little gain.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
Hurts. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And the Eagles are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. It'll be Hurts on the option. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Jalen Hurts scoring on the 2-yard keeper. And the Eagles have taken a 4th-quarter lead.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
Elliott good on the extra point. And the lead is now 10-7. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter. First and 10 here for Hal and the Commanders at the 20. Here's Gibson to start the drive. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw, Howell. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
We've got to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. This one left side caught by Gibson. And he's going to have a Commanders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a 1st down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. 1st down, Hal to throw. He gets it to Thomas. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Commanders football as we get back to it. They come up now on 2nd and 2. It's Howe with another throw. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
It makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Well, you don't have to beg the Philly faithful to make noise. On their feet for 3rd down. Here's Howell. And that's incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Here we go. This is 4th down. Fourth down, Howell, desperation time. Pass complete, Thomas. And this is going to wind up working out just fine as he'll have a Washington first down. And an exhale there as they convert on fourth. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Howell to throw. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
I'm starting to wonder here. Are they trying to prevent winning? Because right now, they're laying back and they're picking them apart, moving the ball downfield. I think they got to start bringing a little pressure towards the quarterback.
Plenty of time. All three timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that is incomplete.
They took a big shot there for the end zone. And if he finds a way to come up with it, that might be your game winner. But it was not to be. The coverage was good, and it winds up incomplete.
Inside a minute to go. Here's 2nd and 10 now. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, brought in by Dotson. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 19.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Back to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there at 2nd down.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both, because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. If you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles have just about sewn up this football game. Just when you thought this game might be turned on its ear, a late interception pretty much going to seal the deal.
Yeah, boy, talk about having your backs to the wall. This defense, they look like they were in danger of surrendering this lead, but they knew they needed that one play, and they got it right there, partner.
Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. Little clock management 101.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. The Eagles in the victory formation as they take a knee. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Hurts down to one knee, and that should just about do it.
I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line.
Well, it took us until the final play charge to officially decide a winner, although on that last play they were so backed up it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it because we both knew that this had to go down to the last play, and neither side was going to exhale until that play concluded because we've seen the improbable before. A couple of laterals, maybe some poor defense on the back end. They might have gone all the way to the end.